Because as a U.S. national, I have rights protected by the U.S. Constitution and the Supreme Court. I travel not for business and commerce. I just
Same thing. Same thing.
If the Mr. Williams in front of us does not admit that the ticket is in his name, is made out to him, I'd ask that the Mr. Williams on the ticket be given a warrant and that this gentleman be removed so we can continue with court.
I'm trying to resolve them, but I'm being threatened.
All right, guys. Today we've got one of the dumbest sovereign citizens I've ever seen. This guy somehow managed to rack up 17 tickets from a single traffic stop and is out here acting like he's not even the one on trial. Like, how does that even happen? But don't worry, the judge completely shuts him down by the end. And trust me, you're gonna want to stick around for that part. In the meantime, let me know in the comments, what do you think this clown's IQ is on a scale of 1 to 10? Personally, I'm giving him a solid 2 after watching this. All right, let's dive in and see what charges this guy got hit with.
Count 3, no insurance misdemeanor. Count 1, open intoxicants in a vehicle driver. Count 2, furnish false, forged info to police officer. Driver's license never acquired. Count 1. Count 2, no insurance misdemeanor. Count 3, drive unregistered, untitled vehicle. Count 1, open alcohol in a motor vehicle driver. Count 2, tinted windows. Count 3, operator or front seat passenger failed to wear a safety belt. Count 1, drive unregistered, untitled vehicle. Count 2 of that same ticket is drove while.
This guy somehow managed to rack up 17 tickets from a single traffic stop and is out here acting like he's not even the one on trial. Like, how does that even happen? But don't worry, the judge completely shuts him down by the end. And trust me, you're gonna want to stick around for that part. In the meantime, let me know in the comments, what do you think this clown's IQ is on a scale of 1 to 10? Personally, I'm giving him a solid 2 after watching this. All right, let's dive in and see what charges this guy got hit with.
Aaron Ruck on behalf of Mr. Timothy Williams. Mr. Williams, state your name.
I object to the counsel.
What was that?
I object to counsel.
Your Honor, I spoke with Mr. Williams. He's saying it's not him, and he's all rights reserved. His name is all in all capital.
I object to representation.
What was that, sir?
I object to representation by you.
Okay. So you would like to represent yourself, Mr. Williams?
I'm not representing myself. I'm just here on special appearance, trying to clear this matter.
Okay, so you have to be the person in order to clear these matters. You just can't appear on behalf of someone unless you're an attorney. Are you an attorney, Mr. Williams?
I'm not the person, but I'm the live living Williams, not the Timothy Williams.
Are you Timothy Tally Williams? Do you know Timothy Tally Williams?
I am Timothy Williams, the living, breathing Timothy Williams, not the all cat that says on my ticket.
Okay. All right. So do you want to try and resolve these today or no?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So you need an offer? Is that what I'm hearing you say? Because we can try and resolve all these tickets today if you want to.
Well, I'm just, because as a U.S. national, I have rights protected by the U.S. Constitution and the Supreme.
Oh yeah, because the U.S. Constitution totally protects your right to commit crimes and then pretend you don't exist in court, just because your name's in all caps on the ticket. Someone please make it make sense. If anyone out there actually understands what this guy is talking about, drop it in the comments, because I'm lost. These sovereign citizen types seriously act like the court's just gonna let them waltz out the door because they said a few magic words. But guess what? That's not how any of this works. Courts have shut this nonsense down over and over again. Just look up United States versus Howell or United States versus Cooper. Case closed. These people honestly need to be shipped off to a deserted island or something, because at this point, they are just mocking the entire legal system. They can call themselves U.S. nationals or sovereign citizens or whatever the latest title is, but it all comes down to one thing. They don't want to be held accountable for their actions. So, what do you think? Is this dude actually for real, or is he just faking it to get out of his tickets? Let's jump back in and see how this train wreck unfolds.
If you travel, drive, ride, anything on the city streets of Detroit, then you have to follow the rules that the city of Detroit has imposed. And so if you have not followed these rules, then you receive something called tickets. And these tickets are given to you based on the license or prior license or identification ID that is given to you. So we can either resolve these today, or we don't have to resolve them. It's okay. But I would like to try and resolve these so that you can move forward and do whatever you need to do.
Yes, I would like to resolve them, but as the officer is seeing in his computer that by the Secretary of State, my ID has been rescinded, canceled. I have a passport, and I'm traveling. I don't drive. I just drive here.
Hold on, but if you drive in a vehicle, you need to have a driver's license. Your passport does not enable you the ability to be able to drive on the streets of Michigan.
I travel not for business and commerce.
Same thing. They have to have licenses as well. Have you ever heard of a truck driver without a license that drives on the commutes on the freeways, roads, or byways? It does not happen. You have to have a license to drive on the city of Detroit, state of Michigan, all 50 states are under my assumption and ability. So, Mr. Williams, I can't go back and forth. I have a lot of people on my screen. I know you can't see. We can have this discussion, but it just has to be near the end of the docket if you don't want to resolve it right now. Okay?
But for the record, Your Honor, I don't drive.
Go ahead.
For the record, I do not drive.
Okay. So how do you want to resolve it today? If you don't want to resolve it, I have to move to the next person, Mr. Williams.
I would like to resolve this matter.
Okay. All right. So would you like me to get you a... Yes, Attorney Snyder, go ahead.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Alexa Schneider for the people, P80322. If the Mr. Williams in front of us does not admit that the ticket is in his name, is made out to him, I'd ask that the Mr. Williams on the ticket be given a warrant and that this gentleman be removed so we can continue.
Boom. Now that's what I like to see. The prosecutor seriously needs to take the wheel for a minute and handle this clown, because this guy is acting like a total joke right now. She completely hit him with an MIC drop moment. If he's gonna sit there and claim he's not the person named on the ticket, then fine. Let's just issue a warrant for that guy. Problem solved. I love when judges and prosecutors aren't putting up with these sovereign citizen antics. It's honestly refreshing. I just hope the judge actually follows through, because if not, this guy's hearing is going to drag on and completely clog up the docket. But what do you guys think? Did the prosecutor go too far here, or was this exactly what needed to happen? Let me know in the comments.
To Mr. Williams, on these tickets.
Excuse me?
I said, is it you, Mr. Williams, on these tickets? Because that's fair. That means that I'm talking to someone who doesn't have these tickets in my courtroom, and so that person has not appeared. But I'm assuming that it's you. Are these your tickets, sir?
If you assume, yes.
Oh. So do you want to, Mr. Williams, do you want to resolve these or not? We can't keep going back and forth. You want to take care of these today with some type of plea or no?
I'm trying to resolve them, but I'm being threatened by prison if I don't agree to these tickets.
So who's gonna send you to prison? I'm not sending anybody to prison today. I'm fining people. That's all I'm doing. I'm giving them fines, monetary fines.
The prosecutor just said she issued a warrant. She recommended a warrant be issued.
Right, but she's not gonna get arrested. But she's saying if you're not gonna say that you're the person on these tickets, Mr. Williams, I have 20 people. I can't argue with you at the beginning of the docket. I can argue with you at the end of the docket. So I'm gonna skip over this matter so we can continue. Let me get everybody else out. Then I'm gonna give you all the time in the world, and we're gonna figure out what to do with you today. Okay? I don't mind taking the time. But I got all these other people on here who are looking like, come on now, okay? So just give me a moment.
So now this genius has to sit around for another 3 hours just to be heard again. What a way to spend your day, right? But trust me, this next part is straight up gold. The judge literally starts talking to this guy like he's a 5-year-old. She's breaking it down so simply. It's like she's teaching him how to tie his shoes. Honestly, it feels like watching a kid get told no by their mom. But this dude is acting like he's in the middle of some epic legal showdown. Let's not waste any more time. Let's dive back in and watch the rest of this sovereign citizen meltdown unfold.
Matter of the People versus Timothy Talley Williams. These matters were called on the record previously. I took a moment off. We had quite a busy docket this morning, and I want to make sure that we could give Mr. Williams adequate amount of time to be able to have all of his questions answered about the matters that are before this court today. Appearances for the record, starting with the city attorney, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Alexa Schneider for the people, P80322.
All right. He continues to not want counsel. Is that correct, Mr. Williams?
Correct.
Okay. Can you state your name for the record, please?
Timothy
Last name?
Williams.
Okay, sir, now you've had the opportunity to sit and look and see how everything pans out and how everything works, Mr. Williams, right? Did you want to be presented with an offer today, or how do you want to move forward?
Well, the offer was to get all this.
So the offer was, I think, so he had some extra cases, Attorney Snyder. So it was FTD, failed to display a valid operator's license, and an open alcohol passenger that was being offered. In exchange, we did have a couple of tickets in default, another open intoxicant driver, Attorney Snyder, and it was forged or false police information to a police officer. He may have just given him like a ID that expired. But if you plead to those two cases, the remainder of your cases will be dismissed.
No, I was talking about the agreement between me and you was to get this sorted out today. That's,
right. So so the options are, so these are your options. You can ask for a pretrial. That'll give you some time to get documents together and to get everything back in order and then present it to the court. You can ask for a bench trial. That's a trial before myself as the trier and finder of facts. Every single one of these officers who have made these allegations will have to appear on that date and come into court. Or you can ask for a jury trial. That's when the officers is in person. 6 citizens of the city of Detroit will make the decision based on the law. Officers still have to come in. You will have to come in at that point in time, and then we can resolve it that way. Those are the three. Or you can plead guilty or plead responsible at this point in time to the offer that has been extended to you. Those are the 4 things that we can do to resolve it today. And I guess the 5th one is if you don't want to do any of those, then it just remains as is and it just remains there. And then eventually it goes into warrant status.
Yeah.
So I said, huh?
Rights, and I don't understand what's going on. So.
Okay. I don't know if they'll be able to help you. I really wish you would let us assign some counsel to you. They may be able to talk to you and help you understand a little bit better.
I tried, but he not listening, so I was taking them on hands.
All right. Sometimes you have to be willing to understand that they're going to give you the law, not necessarily what you're following, but the law that we practice in the state of Michigan.
I have no contract. If I have no contract with the Secretary of State, then like, why am I being pushed with this? I'm going through the proper procedure to have my rights protected under the Constitution and Supreme Court. So,
of Michigan?
Of Michigan, what?
No, I'm saying the Supreme Court of what jurisdiction? Michigan or the United States of America?
United States of America.
Wrong answer. Buddy, the Constitution literally gives states the power to handle civil matters like traffic violations under the 10th Amendment. That's right. States have the authority to create and enforce their own laws, even if you think you're magically exempt because of some sovereign citizen fantasy. And let's not forget the full faith and credit clause, which means states have to recognize and enforce each other's public records. Yes, that includes traffic tickets. I'm willing to bet this guy has no clue about any of this. But hey, they probably don't cover actual constitutional law over at YouTube Law School. Do you think this guy genuinely believes he found some secret legal loophole? Because honestly, he seemed just delusional enough to believe his own nonsense.
All right, they won't have jurisdiction over local matters, though. And that's going to be the problem. You're going to run into every time, Mr. Williams, that local matters are held. The Constitution extends the right for us to locally handle certain matters, such as ordinance violations, misdemeanors, driving offenses.
Right. So if I'm not a U.S. citizen, I'm a U.S. national. What jurisdiction does that fall under? I'm not a resident or a U.S. citizen.
Oh, you don't live in the United States of America?
I live in the United States of America, but not under the jurisdiction.
So that's your resident. Are you born, like, do you have you said you have a passport, is the United States of America passport?
United States of America, but not the United States, the federal territory.
Oh, you didn't get so you don't have like a federal passport given to you. It's not a passport issued by the United States of America.
It is. Now my status is correct.
And that's gonna wrap up this guy's nonsense. For now, he's decided to take it to a pre-trial. So yeah, we'll definitely be seeing him again. Apparently, he still thinks it's some kind of legal mastermind. Honestly, he's either deep in denial or just straight up delusional to be pushing these arguments with a straight face. Now, to be real, I think the judge was way too lenient with him. She could have shut him down way earlier, especially once he started ranting about how traffic laws don't apply to him. Spoiler alert, they do. A tougher judge probably would have cut the MIC the moment he brought up his sovereign citizen nonsense. Instead, he was given a platform to keep going. And yeah, it made for great entertainment, but from a court efficiency standpoint, kind of a total waste of time. But hey, that's just my opinion. What do you guys think? Was the judge too soft, or was she smart for letting him dig his own hole in the record? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm really curious to hear what you all think. I post every single day, so stay tuned for more wild courtroom moments like this one. Really appreciate you all watching. Thank you so much, and take care.